What's good with it in the hood with it? Welcome back to the Collective Clips where you already know we we get it in. But before we get it in, let's get this super Norteno intro in. Welcome back to the channel. And if you haven't already hit that like and subscribe button, make sure you go ahead and do that. Put your notification bell on all so that way you're directing the direction of the dope content that the gun stays kicking. And I appreciate the support. I'm very humbled, man. Thank you for everyone who's watching me because Drake Day only made Gunners Pay Day. For reals, right? So, you guys ready for another Super Norteno whooping? Are you ready to get into it? I haven't did a Super Norteno, it seems like in a minute, right? But I was talking to my cousin the other day, man, and he goes, "You remember when we got your ass?" I do, man. I do. So let me tell you a story about red on top of red on red, right? There was years in Merced where I'm from where Norteños were beefing, funking, right? And of course, on my side, we're going to say that we dominated them. And on their side, they're going to say that they dominated us. But truth be told, it was a whole bunch of bullshit. A bunch of dudes who claimed the same paño, the same cause, the same movement, moving in different directions. One of them was running away. The other ones were running towards them. I'm not going to say who was doing what, but let's just say one me, right? Now, during the time of all this beef and conflict, I had just paroled out of the youth authority, so I got right into it. Now, my cousin was a little bit younger than me, but he was still out there functioning. He was all Northern gangbang. Whooping, I hate Mr. Capone. I hate Mr. Capone. Like, stop it, fool, right? It's not that serious. You're never going to see Mr. Capone. I seen him at a car show. What'd you do to him? I didn't get a hug, right? What? Right? So anyways, my cousin was always with the program, but remember, he's not from any particular barrio. He's kind of like a resident. He just made up his own barrio in his head and he's jumped himself in. He went like that, and then he was on. I'm gonna do this for 14 seconds. Whoop it, right? So, but he was a good homie, and you know, I would pick him up from time to time, take him to places with me. At the particular time, his mom had an old man, so she was like, they would argue a lot. They were going back and forth. She would always tell me, hey, son of a bitch. I said, what's up, tia? Come pick this fuckface up, number one, because right now, this weekend, I'm going to beat the shit out of his dad. I'm like, which dad? The newest one. I'm going to beat the shit out of him because I'm going to tell you right now, he talking about make tortillas. I haven't made tortillas a mano in a fucking long time. And every time he's demanding, suck my shit. I don't do that. Okay, not for anything under 1,000, right? So my dad was like, all the time calling me to come pick him up. So I'm like, all right, I'll go swoop him up. You got to understand, I was very highly active at the time. And the funk, it was on in Merced. This is pre-97. This is pre-El Norte law going out and the big old junta that happened in Modesto. Those that know. So Norteños were still beefing. There was a lot of red on red. We didn't even call it red on red back then. We called it fuck you. You know what I mean? Whooping is what we called it. Well, around that time, my neighborhood was changing a little bit. You had a lot of homeboys that were locked up in the youth authority in prison that were getting out. And our rundown, the game that we were giving to the youngsters or to the homeboys that were just in the, a level below us, the new generation, was more of positivity and getting all on one fucking page rather than fighting amongst, our gente, which was the other side. Even though they were the other side of town, the north side of town, we were the west. We were still more on that. But then some of us had grudges. Well, I, in particular, had a super grudge against a barrio out there called 11th Street. They were Norteños and they were from the west side. But they were a group that was ragtag. They were just a whole bunch of Northerns that just banded together for power and control. Well, guess what? Gunner was going to be America's cup of coffee that day. So we were cruising on our street, which is in Merced, right? And I had Ricky with me, whooping. And what had happened was I had a homeboy named Sergio from my neighborhood. We grew up together since elementary school. That was my boy. There was no doubt he was with the business. His whole family's with the business. Some of his primos are like my boys still to this day. They don't give a fuck. They'll still answer me if I call them like, hey, bro, fool's talking shit on YouTube. What? Right? And so me and the homeboys are cruising. We're in the Cutlass rolling on Go Ones. And I see the homeboy, and lately he'd been like missing from the hood. You ever heard that song by Young Dopey? Hey, you better come back to the hood. What's that? I forget what song it is, but it's where he's talking about if you ain't fucking coming around the hood, you're leva, basically. Well, that dude was not coming around. And I hadn't seen him since I got out. So I got Ricky, it's me, it's a couple other homeboys. And back then, there used to be a spot. It's right on the corner of 16th and R Street. It's called Beto's Taco Shop. Or it used to be called Beto's. It's called Victoria's now. and they had the best California burrito smacking. So everybody would go party or whatever, and then everybody ended up there. That was the, they didn't care if your guy, girl, like that was the spot to go to, right? And so the homie was like, let's go to Beto's. So what we used to do more than likely, more times than none, we'll cruise through the drive-through, get our little food, get our issue, look at the tetas, because there was always a chick there with some big old ding, 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 right? And then we'll bounce. But this particular day, we seen a whole bunch of lowriders and cars there. So, of course, we got to shine. So we pulled up. Everyone's like, dead ends here. They already knew, like, our particular car, who we were. And I'm not going to lie to you. To say my hood was bullying people, that's a lie. But we were known as antagonizers. Like, we'd get to a spot and we thought, like, this is our spot now. We're taking over. We're planting our flag. And that's just how every barrio thinks. Anytime you've been from a neighborhood, especially a Norteno neighborhood, it's like, we're better than everyone else. So we pulled up, right? And we went right there. You can go to like a front window, order your food. So I sent Ricky with the money, go order our food, right? Everybody wanted the California burrito. That's one thing about that spot. Everyone got the same exact shit. No tacos, no nut, California burrito, ASAP. Put extra papas in it. Porfas, right? So he's over there like, whooping, I want California burritos, but I want active ones, right? Like, all right, whatever. He's over there on his northern shit going crazy. And I see the homeboy Sergio there, and he's with some dudes from 11th Street. Now, I have a personal issue with 11th Street at the time. And the personal issue is this. When I was in the youth authority, I got a phone call from my tío. Yes, I got a phone call. Not I called them. They called me. There was an emergency. Something had happened to my mom's, right? And when I talked to my uncle, I was pissed. He ran me down. He was like, look, there was a party. A birthday party was happening. These dudes kicked the door in. They went in shooting. Everybody was jumping off the balcony because it was an apartment at the time. Your mother fell off the balcony and she split her eardrum, right? To this day, my mom could only hear slightly from one ear, right? So there was nothing I could do about it. And it was other Northerners that did this. This was one of the things in my life that changed my view on homeboys, right? I still was with the Northern cause and all that, but I wasn't like Ricky is all fucking infatuated. Whooping, I love fucking Big Tone. I love Big Tone. I was like, fuck that, right? My thing was anyone could get it because anyone could give it, right? And so I always kept my ears open, my antennas fucking going, and I was always on. And so when I heard that, when that phone call was made, I was pretty pissed at everybody. And it took a gang of homeboys, and one homeboy, Skip, particularly from Stockton, because I was in NRCC at the time, reception in YA. It happened right when I got locked up in YA, right? And he ran me down like, hey, bro, don't let that shit get to you. It's not all homies. I'm some dirty-ass motherfuckers. So I always had a slight dislike for them. They weren't a very big body. It was maybe 10, 15 of them total, which I pissed 10 or 15 dudes at that time. It was nothing, right? So I'm not trying to act tough. This was my mentality. I'm far from that now. Now I'm just a regular old civilian. Like, I don't want no problem. Whooping, I don't want no problems. I'm not active, right? But back then I was like, whooping. I was different. So I'm kicking back and I see the homeboy Sergio there. He's with them fools. And he sees me and his eyes get big because he already knows what it is with me. Like, I'm going to get off with these guys no matter where I'm at. So now I'm going to take it out on him because he's a homeboy from the neighborhood kicking it with these guys. And look, he had every right. And in fact, I was pushing the agenda for all Northenians to cease conflict and to be together. But fuck these guys. I just didn't like them on a personal tip. It had nothing to do with North or South. It's just I didn't like them, right? And so I remember the homeboy, one of my homeboys, right? He's right there. He's like, hey, look at who it is. And I said, and I locked eyes with him. And I've been knowing this dude since we're young kids, right? And he looked at me. He's like, fuck. He was sitting like at a curb eating his burrito, his California burrito. So I was about to give him the Northern California head stomp. Have you ever seen that? He did. So as I'm walking up, right? Ricky's walking back. Fucking, he just paid. He's waiting on, he got the ticket, waiting on the, and he's walking. My cousin locks eyes with me. One thing I could say about my primo is when I'm on. And when I'm on, he's on. Sometimes when he's on, I'm not on because he's kind of a J-cat. So it's just like, I got to figure out why we're on. But with me, if I'm on, he's on. He's always on. Whoop it, what the fuck? Fuck Mr. Capone. Right? He's crazy. Fuck Little Toro. Wait up, he's a homeboy. Or is he not? I don't know. Today he is. Yesterday he wasn't. Right? He got a Mongolian. He's a homeboy. Wait up. No, he doesn't. Right? So he's just different. He's like, hey, I bet you Little Toro would trip my fucking primo out. Them two dudes would be in that motherfucker licking each other. Right? They'd just be crazy. Are you a homeboy? Are you a homeboy? I'm a homeboy. I'm not a homeboy. Right? They'd be all fucked up. So anyways, as he sees me, I kind of lock eyes with him. He sees I'm going to do something. So I walk up to the homeboy. Now, my homeboy's drinking a 40. All up in public. Mickey's. Remember the Mickey's big, the big fucking chunky dark green solid ass bottle. If you guys remember, the Mickey's bottles were thick on the bottom. So the homeboy's drinking. I said, let me get your bottle full. He's like, wait, let me take this last trago. So he takes his drink and I grab it and I look at Ricky and he's like, and I go, what's up, Sergio? And he's like, oh, what's up? I saw you kicking with these fools now. You don't kick with the homies or what? He's like, nah, bro. We're just, man, you know what I'm saying? My primo, these are his peoples. And boop, that shit bounced off his shit. Bing, bing. Ricky caught that motherfucker middle. Whoop it. Let me use it. And smashed it in his face. We stomped him. Them dudes from 11 left him right there. Boom, they jumped in their little whips. Boom, boom, boom. They're bumping. They bounce, right? And so now Ricky's like, fuck you fools. Now, my cousin doesn't know really nothing about these fools. Like, he's not even tripping. He knows they're homeboys. So when we leave old boy, fucking, we get our burrito. We didn't even fucking run. We just got our burritos. Like, let me take a bite before we go. We leave him all leaking, fucked up, which was cold because later on he was the homie. But we're telling him, keep dead end out your mouth, all that, whatever, right? So we bounce. Boom. True stories. We go to the homegirl's house. Ricky's like, whooping, right? Hey, literally, palabra, right? This chick is all over my cousin. She's like, I just like his, he's stupid, right? So he has a chick, Sheila, earmuff it, because I know you're going to watch this. So my primo's doing his thug dizzle, right? He's getting the mamon nizzle. He's getting his mandamian, right? And you know what I'm saying? His communist shit. He's giving it all to the people and for the people. And so he's doing his thing, and then he's all like, you can see he's stinking. He comes out of the room and he's stinking. He was like, why do we jump on the homies, right? And I was like, whooping? He was like, I don't feel right. You said never fight homies, because I had been running them down. It's my primo, my little primo, like, hey, don't fight other Northerners. Don't get off, man, unless we get off first. And then you know what it is. But he was like, man, whooping, right? We fucking almost killed. I said, listen, I start running him down, man. I don't like that situation. He's like, all right, cool, whatever, right? So months pass. I don't even see the homie who we stomped out. One of the homeboys gets at me, who's his primo, and he's like, hey, bro, he's been coming around lately. Like, whatever you guys got personal, that's it. I said, no, I was just tripping because he was right there with them. Fuck that, right? And they were like, yeah, but he's still a homie, though. I said, yeah. I said, it's all good. Tell him if you see him. If I see him, I'll tell him. It's all good. It's all love. He'll get a hug and everything. But he'll get a hug, a me mug, and a shoulder shrug. How about that? That'll work. That'll work. So I don't see him for a long. I don't see him until I actually bone his sister. Then that's when I seen him again. Just because she got all crazy one day, right? And I was like, call your fucking brother. And she did. And he was like, what's up? Oh, fuck. And I said, yeah, I'm drinking a Mickey's, fool. Whop, and I'm going to go get me a California burrito. Remember that? Remember? You remember. So anyways, I don't see him for a while. And I get a phone call from my tia. It's like months. This shit, I forget about it. Like, we were into so much stuff, doing so many things. Now, at that time, the Norteños, like the older ones from Lofbro, from the north side, were getting at some of us, older homeboys. And that's like when Dead End Pee-wees, we had Dead End Pee-wees, which was a clique, kind of stopped, right? It stopped. We told them, like, hey, you guys are causing too much conflict. And we're trying to get our shit together in Merced. But they had other groups like RBL and Los Baños, not Los Baños, but not Dos Palos, Legrand, Planet. Like, they were all riding with RBL against us. And it was just chaos. It was like M Street doing their thing, us doing our thing, NFL doing their thing. There's all these different vauderos, M14ers, VMR, whatever. We were cool with everyone on the West until we weren't. And that's how Dead End got down. So, my tia gives me a phone call. Mijo, I'm going to go camping. I said, all right, yeah, let's go, tia. Did I fucking say you? I said, no, but, no, I didn't fucking say you. And I didn't say no one else but me. Okay, tia. Okay, no, okay. I only want to hear a yes or a fucking no. I said, so no? That's not what I want to hear. I said, but you said yes or a no. What's the fucking question? Right? My tia was like, take Ricky to your house because I'm going to go camping. And the answer is yes, I'm going. And the answer is no, you fuckers can't go. And the answer better be yes, he can go over there. Or the answer is going to be no, you're not going to live no more. And I said, so if I say no, what happens? You did everything you ever thought of and imagine happens. Have you ever seen the new movie fucking the Purge Anarchies? That's what's gonna happen, bitch. All right, yeah. Better. I didn't say yeah. What did I say? I said you said yes. That's fucking better. It's better than no. So should I say no? No, because no's no good. Fuck it, man. Who's on first? I don't know. With my tia's conversations like that, in between farting, all kinds of different shit going on. So I'm like, all right, he can come. Go pick him up. He don't got a fucking car. He's supposed to walk. You're going to make my son walk? Yes. Now you're fucking correct. So you got the right answer, but for the wrong question, bitch. Come get him. So I picked him up that weekend. Now you got to remember, my cousin is not affiliated or associated with one particular gang. He kicks it with any Northerners that he wants to. And so I'm doing my thing. I'm a little bit older than him. So I'm sliding out to like Modesto, to the Four Corners of the West Side with the homeboys, just doing my thing. I'm not taking him everywhere with me because he was young at the time. He was like 16, 17. I was already like 18, 19, right? So I'm like, you can't slide everywhere, primo. And he's like, well, but let me go. I'm fucking downer than all the homeboys. Yeah, I know. But at the same time, you're stupider too. How about you just stay home and relax? So what happens is this fool takes off walking to this park, sees some chicks, starts kicking with the chicks. Back in the days, he used to pull a lot of chicks. How Don't ask me no questions. I'll tell you no lies, right? And he runs into these guys from 11th, right? They're Northerners to him. He doesn't ask what water they're from. You homeboys, you're whooping, or you being down. If you see photos in our town, are you willing to put him down? Yeah, they're willing, right? I'm a gunner, I said, bow down to the, yeah. So he's all that. So he's over there kicking it with them. I get home. I'm chilling, right? My chick at the time, I'm like, hey, where's my primo at, right? Because we're going to go eat. We were going to go eat at a place in Modesto called King's Table. It was all you can eat. Those that remember. And she was like, I don't know. He took off earlier, went for a walk. I haven't seen him all day. So I'm like, fuck, this is before phone calls. You can't just call him. We didn't have phones like that. We had the big old black phone one time for your mind. You know, Pablo Escobar shit. So I got it. I'm like, which way do you go? To the west. All right, fuck it. I'm going to cruise around. At that time, I was staying at the Willowbrook Apartments, which is in the north side, right? So I had to go all the way. That motherfucker walked far. No, I was living in Shadowbrook, which is a different area, right? It's closer to the west, but still the north. Anyways, I cruise. I'm looking for him. I see some chicks. They're at the park. They're all Norteno gang, right? Now, there's no such thing as a Norteno, but you know what I mean. They're all flamed up. So I'm like, hey, you see my primo, Ricky? And they're like, oh, yeah, we know him, right? I've never said it's Blackazo on here. I never will, right? Because that's some different shit. But I asked this Blackazo, you know, and they're like, yeah. He went with the homeboys from 11. I said, what? Wape? Right? Yeah, he's with the homeboys from 11. I said, did 11th Street? Right? Yeah, I said, oh, no, they're going to get my cousin because we had did this movida. Automatically, I'm thinking they're going to get him. So there was a dude from 11 called Big Sam. His name was Big Sam. He was a big old boy. I went to school with him. Me and him were always cool. Yeah, he was too big. You know what I mean? You know how like you have the worst enemies, but if they're just too big, they're just not the worst enemy. They're just like only the enemy when you got backup, right? But when you're by yourself, he's like the friend of me. Like, hey, the friend of me, right? And so all I could think about is what happened in the past. And fuck these dudes. Well, I see him. He used to have a Cuddy, man, a Regal, real nice one. I pull up on him. I'm like, hey, you see my primo? What's up with your homeboys, bro? They're going to jump my primo. He's like, I just came from Chato's house, bro. Your primo's over there. And we got to understand, I knew all these dudes. I went to school with them, knew my whole life. And really, to be honest with you, only had beef with one particular one, the one that acted stupid. And there's a whole long story. I've told it before of why that particular dude, but I might have to retell it for those that are new. And so I'm like, all right. Well, my primo, he said, yeah, he's over there at fucking Menso, right? I said, I'm going to go get him. So I pull up, right? It's dark at this time because we were going to go in the evening time. It's already dark. I've been looking for my cousin for an hour and a half, right? When I pull up, I see the dude. There's a dude, Chato and Adolf, man. I know him real good, man. I never really had beef with them, but fuck them. And then there's this one dude named Renee who I don't like, right? And I see him. He's a little pretty boy motherfucker. These are the dudes that used to have the bangs in their hair and wear their hats all funny. Like they were the Edgars before Edgars. Their body established Edgars. I'm pretty much decided that 11th Street in Merced was the Edgar gang, right? So I see him, right? And I see Renee and I'm like, what's up, fool? What's up, right? Because he's one of the ones that allegedly went into the pad, my mom's pad back then. He was like, hey, fool, that shit's a lie, fool. I said, fuck you, bitch. I jumped off to get off on him, right? And I got hit. Boom. One of the hardest hits I've ever got to this day. I felt my jaw go way over there, right? And I could hear my dad in the back, say yes, bitch, say yes, say yes. Oh, no, right? I fell down and they started stomping me. Guess who socked me? What, man? I didn't mean to, prima. I didn't know it was you. My car, my Dayton's, my everything. And you didn't know it was me? These dudes were telling him, like, oh, man, hey, they knew Big Sam had circled around the block before I went over there and said, hey, that fool's coming to get his primo. He's tripping, right? They told him, hey, some fucking dude's coming over here. He's a Southsider. He's going to fucking talk shit. My primo didn't even look. He just took off at a full run. He was next door, some chick's house. He took off at a full run and just knocked my whole shit backwards. Bang! Ricky knocked me out. I woke up like, whooping! Right? Hey, after getting stomped up by all these guys, everybody was gone and Ricky was sitting there. Primo, I didn't mean to want to go get a California burrito. I'm hungry. You're hungry? Well, if I can't eat no more, he fucked my jaw up. That fool broke my jaw in like 4 different places. North gang. Right? He fucked me up. Anyways, I'll tell you guys part 2 tomorrow. You know, let's just say I wasn't happy and the retaliation was a must where I'm from. So with that being said, man, I hope you guys enjoyed the story. Ricky beat me up. Yep, he did. And one of these fucking days when I get him on, I'll say why. He's going to tell you guys because he thought I was a Southerner. Motherfucker, you're blind or what? I know you're stupid, but are you blind? Thumbs up or thumbs down. Heavy's going to be the head that wears the crown. I'm going to continue to strive, struggle, and strive for what I truly believe in. That's the betterment of all people. Thank you, guys. And remember, this video, this one in particular right here, is being sponsored by Barrio Liquors, man. If you're ever in the Turlock, California area in the Central Valley, go tap into the Barrio right there in Turlock. Vario Liquors, and go support the homeboys. And we're out.